The town of Ravenshade had long been whispered about in hushed voices. Its eerie tales passed from generation to generation. Among the many legends, none was more feared than the one surrounding the abandoned Holloway Manor. Standing on the outskirts of town, the grand yet decayed mansion loomed like a skeletal remnant of the past. The townsfolk claimed it was cursed, haunted by the whispers of those who had perished within its walls. Lena Carter had never believed in ghosts. A journalist with a thirst for real stories, she scoffed at the town's superstitions. But when she learned that 3 people had mysteriously disappeared in the mansion over the last decade, her curiosity was piqued. Determined to uncover the truth, she packed her camera, a flashlight, and a voice recorder, and set out for Holloway Manor one chilly October evening. The air was thick with the scent of damp wood and decay as Lena pushed open the heavy iron gates. The pathway leading to the mansion was overgrown, the once beautiful garden now nothing more than a twisted mess of thorny vines. The front door creaked open under her touch, revealing an entryway shrouded in darkness. With a deep breath, she stepped inside. Dust swirled in the air, disturbed by her movement. The grand chandelier overhead hung precariously, its crystals coated in grime. Faint whispers echoed through the vast halls, though Lena assumed it was the wind seeping through the cracked walls. She wandered through the mansion, snapping photos and recording notes. Every now and then, she thought she heard something. Soft footfalls behind her, a hushed breath against her ear. Her skepticism wavered slightly, but she pressed on. As she reached the staircase leading to the second floor, the whispers grew louder. She stopped, heart pounding. It almost sounded like her name. Lena! She spun around, flashlight beam cutting through the darkness, but there was nothing. Shaking off the unease, she climbed the stairs. The upper floor was in worse condition, the wooden floorboards groaning beneath her weight. A long hallway stretched before her, lined with doors barely hanging onto their hinges. She chose one at random and pushed it open. Inside was a bedroom frozen in time. An old 4-poster bed draped in a decaying canopy. An antique dresser with a cracked mirror. The air was heavier here, thick with an unshakable presence. Then she saw it. In the mirror's reflection, a shadow stood behind her. Lena whirled around, but there was nothing. Her breath came in rapid gasps. The whispers were all around her now, growing in intensity. She grabbed her recorder and hit play, hoping to capture something rational. Static. Then, through the distortion, a voice, low and ragged. "Get out!" The door slammed shut. The temperature plummeted, her breath visible in the dim light. Something was in the room with her. Panicked, she reached for the doorknob, but it wouldn't budge. A slow creak sounded behind her. She turned, and her blood ran cold. A figure emerged from the shadows. It was tall and gaunt, its face twisted into an unnatural grin, eyes hollow and black. It reached for her with elongated fingers, whispering her name over and over. Lena screamed. With all her strength, she yanked the door open and sprinted down the hall. The whispers followed, angry and relentless. As she reached the stairs, the floorboards cracked beneath her. She barely had time to react before the wood gave way, and she plummeted through the floor, landing hard in the parlor below. Dazed and in pain, she scrambled to her feet. The whispers turned into agonized wails. The walls trembled as if the house itself was enraged. With no time to process, she ran for the door, feeling unseen hands clawing at her, trying to pull her back. She burst through the entrance, collapsing onto the overgrown pathway. The moment she crossed the threshold, the whispers stopped. The mansion stood silent once more, as if nothing had happened. Lena didn't stop running until she was back in town. The next day, she reviewed her footage. Most of it was static, but one thing stood out. As she had fled, the camera had captured the mirror in the bedroom. In its reflection, the shadowed figure stood watching her leave, and this time, it was smiling.